Greetings, Jedi Traders! David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the futures trend for September 8th, 2019. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market, see what's going on in my head on any given day or week. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. Yes, it has been a long time, Jedi Traders. Good to be back. As many have probably been watching the posts that I've been doing on the weekly blog, as I'll actually just pull that up here. If you come to the Trading Fibs website, over to the blog page, you'll be seeing a running list of comments that I've been making on the futures index trend. Trying to get through a possible new format here, but let's get right into it. Taking a look at the NASDAQ and the ES and giving some insight into where we are. All right, so big picture as we come to the end of the summer trading, as contract rollover is about to come to an end here. Volume closing out this week, and quad witching coming up as well. As you can see, back in June, the ES here bouncing off the 200 MML lows at the time, all the way up to the highs through the top of August. Again, August been a tough month, consolidation. Couple key technical points. We've added a 2050 to the chart, 1050, which happens to be a very high strategic crossover strategy in which 10 crosses over the 50, giving you an opportunity for swing trends or long-term trends. Again, when we're talking about swing trends in the future market, we're looking anywhere from a day, 2 days, up to a month. And anybody's looking for a longer-term strategy, I would highly recommend the Jason Kelly 3-Sig method. That's jasonkelly.com. All right, so markets hit up here at the beginning of August, up the reversal. Again, a nice turnaround from MML high to MML low. That's the long range here. The short term here, you can see based almost on a monthly perspective, we hit the bottom here at the end of August, and ever since then we just rose right back up to the MML highs. For the short term, we'll look for MML reset up to anything above the reversal, but at this point, pretty strong trend. 10 is back above 50. We've been holding truly to the hold above the 200 MA off the MML lows, as market action still has that opportunity to hit those highs and even go higher. So naysayers to all the pundits in the market that say market action was going to turn around and recession was here, recession was here, recession was here, and at this point, no signs of recession, at least from a technical perspective. We did have some difficulty here on the ES trying to break that 61.8% fib, lasting for majority of August here. But again, once we broke that, up to the high, so any entries off the lows, MML low here, was a nice swing trade. Now, we put that together with the Heikin Ashi, which is the whole determinant of trend. So what we're looking at is 5 studies below, price crossing the 80 MA, the T3 moving average, as you can see right here. Price action where the slope is in sync to the upside. Price action above the VWAP and the 5144. And as price action here, we can see 28.12.50 was at the bottom. Price action gave an opportunity. Let's go ahead and open up the chart a little bit wider. You can see, again, numerous opportunities in both directions, at least for the swing trade through August. But here, off the bottoms, 28.12.50 as price action held at the VWAP. Again, trade management might have taken you out back on the pullback. But again, another opportunity from a swing, at least swing position, back to the upside. And here we are about 29.44, I think it was, and we're up to 29.83. So nice 40-point move up there. You do the math, and you got some nice ticks. Whether you're trading the ES or the MES, micro futures gives you an opportunity to take off one contract and trail. So insight for the ES at this point, as we always watch the upper MMLs up to the reversal. At this point, the setup was right here. So it's merely a trailing and looking for, if you're looking for an opportunity to get back in, we got to look for a situation like we see here on the charts where we see the pullback. Otherwise, we continue to move up and continue to trail to each MML level as the markets have now opened here on Sunday night, and we're holding still in the trend, which is really nice. Again, we've increased the level of Flex Rankos from 10.7 intraday to 75.52, which is giving us a eliminating a lot of noise in the market there and being able to give us less noise and stronger entries and stronger setups. So consolidation breaks through, nice move to the upside. All right, let's take a look at our second market, the NQ or the MNQ for those who are trading the micro futures. Same similar picture as we'll take a look at the big picture here. NQ again, same through the summer here through July, came up to the reversal, pulled back downside again, didn't come down all the way to the MML lows as price action held above the 200 twice. Short term, we have a midterm MML here about the monthly, and then about the weekly or 2 week MMLs as price action lifted back upside, breaking to the MML highs here. Again, we have upper levels to watch. The crossover, the 2050, was thinking that possibly price action was going to continue down further, but as long as we held above that 200, that was a sign of consolidation. As we can see, the 10 EMA has already crossed back upside, so making the strong move back up here to the MML highs. So from reversal to 200, trying to attempt several attempts consolidation. Again, nothing easy here during the month of August, almost a flat position. And then once off the MMLs, you can see at least halfway up to major support resistance, but several times pulled right back. So trade management might have taken you out. So we put that together. Let's take a look at the Heiken Ashi bars. As we can see here, we can pull that out a little bit more. Again, a lot of that consolidation here in August, not really able to get a strong trend. The last strongest trend was probably at the beginning of August on all 5 bars to the downside here in the red to the lows. Again, a couple more pockets, very not as strong moves, but again, the bigger trend. Again, here we can see a couple days one direction, a couple days another direction, but really nothing held. And here we had again a dual opportunity, just like the ES trade manager would have taken you out, unfortunately, unless you kept a stop at the swing position low, which would have been over here around 75.20. Let's actually, that was a little bit lower. Yeah, that would have been about 75.05. But again, you were looking for the trend to break the VWAP up high off the 200, and sure enough, here it did back on September 4th. So we're already 3-4 days into this as price action holding up. We want to see stronger trending candles as we do on any trend. Here we see a little bit of indecision, and that indecision coming at a key MML level, which is that resistance on 2 of those charts, both the long term and the midterm. The short term here being about approximately of a week's trading day. Again, I tend to want to actually focus on the larger here, where we're using, actually now we're up to 250 tick Flex Renko 170 is a setting on the micro here, and NQ here, a daily chart. All right, as we roll it, as I've been talking in the blog, we are at a point where, like I said, all the pundits try to say one thing. Things that have been sticking out, of course, China volatility and the trade war. Any tweet comes out, possible talks, you know what happens. Markets going to react to that. And we have rate cuts that are that have been out there, been playing around, and as well as Brexit, which who knows at this point how much that is playing a role. But all those 3 combined surely gives the AI and the market a little time to try and figure this all out. And as we can see, markets are rallying up. So from a technical perspective, I'd like to see, let's get back to the ES for one more minute. I'd like to see that ES, again, I want to see that 2050 crossover. That would be a very strong move, but at least for the temporary. If price action holds above this resistance at 29.6875, that will be strong up to the highs, 30.27. Again, keep in mind as we roll into this week, economic calendar, we do have CPI, we have consumer credit. Nothing big as far as earnings as we come to the end of the quarter, but again, we're coming into September, new numbers will be coming out, so that could be a determinant as well. Retail sales out on Friday. All right, so putting that all together, again, if price action in any way turns back down, where we have 5 red bars to the downside, that would mean that we're back below MML resistance. So we're going to watch major support resistance here as a target, 28.9075. By that point, the 200 might move up. So anything turns around here, the MML, breaking the MML resistance on the HA bars, 5 red bars to the downside, we'd see at least a pullback on that. So that would give you an opportunity for several days to the short. Otherwise, closing out positions, you just let it ride as much as high as possible on this contract, and then roll over to the next contract and initiate a new position. All right, good to have you guys here. That concludes my insight into the current trend in the futures. Again, make sure you check out my blog here on tradingfibs.com under the next to the welcome page here. I'll go ahead and continue to post here. Hopefully bring you some more videos. Feel free to stop by my website and my social media. I continue to send those tweets out and charts. A little bit less as I'm taking a look more at the bigger picture instead of all the small intraday. It's not that those setups don't exist. Let me actually pull a chart of that up here for a second. As been a while. So here we go. Here we have our ES. These are actually the micro futures market. We could talk about that later as an opportunity for traders who are struggling to get in or out of sim. These are great opportunities to trade the market. So again, these setups intraday are still nice. They're beautiful setups. Here we had that Thursday setup on the market on September 4th, I believe it was. Let me look here. That was last Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so nice move here. Price action with all the bars to the upside. Again, we keep out the T3A. Actually, the slope. Keep the slope out. Actually, I could put the slope in. It doesn't matter. Regardless, with all 4 or 5 all in sync. Again, price action above the 5144 cloud, above the VWAP, and you get a nice trend. So intraday or swing, as you see in the pictures here. I like to take a look at the big picture. Either way, they're very strong, and price action return to the highs, or at least on its way up. My mantra is to really try to keep it a simple strategy. Any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. It's up to you how you want to trade these markets. So check me out, Trading Fibs. Follow me as always. I really do just leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only try to look what's in front of me on my charts and always leave your bias at the door when trading. Guys, have a great week here in September as we start to roll out this volume contract and get into a non-contract into the end of the year. Have a great week.